Recording in progress.
It is 7 o'clock and I'm gonna call the meeting to order. To the agenda.
No.
So now is the time for public comments. Anybody on the call or in the room that is not already on the agenda? Now's your time. If you're on the call, you'll need to unmute yourself. Apparently not. Okay. So the next item is approved minutes of the previous meeting. I will entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Jamie and seconded by Cynthia to approve the minutes of the last meeting. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, new business, home service transition. If you want to.
Yeah, I'll just give a briefing on that. Granite has not been up to par at all, unsurprisingly, after the experience we had with transition. I am suggesting we pull the plug now and move back to 8x8. And because it is clearly clear that, one, they did not give us an accurate price at the beginning. They are in the process of trying to adjust that. But given the experience that we've had, including repeated outages with limited communication, I think it's best to just move back to 8x8, make a seamless transition back to them. And our accounts are still active and things like that, so it should be very easy. So I need a motion to do that. But yeah, it's pretty clear that Granite is not working out for us.
Yes.
Can I just ask, why did we go from 8x8 to Granite?
Because we had subpar customer service on certain margins with them. We thought we could improve it. They were approximately similar in price, and frankly, that turned out not.
But we had problems with 8x8.
We had problems with 8x8, but they were nothing compared to this. We've had repeat, like for instance, our fax is down. It has been down since last Thursday. That's not good for public safety with spike complaints and things like that. They've not acted promptly on these things. It's taken a couple of days to get back and forth. I think the salesperson certainly misrepresented both the top line price, the taxes that were on our service when I explicitly asked for an all-in price, and the actual service quality we were going to get. So, having tested the waters of another competitor, it's very clear that 8x8 is the better service, and their soft phone app, which includes what has been used for like texting for my phone and things like that, is a dramatically worse product. So yeah, and we can seamlessly transition to 8x8 or back to 8x8 if we make an action on that this evening. Without an action on that this evening, we can make a transition a little bit later. It'll be a bit harder and to move to either another service or back to that.
And who did we have before 8x8?
Honestly, I don't know.
I think that was, we did.
It was before my time, right?
I think it was consolidated for everything.
Okay.
Right.
They didn't offer any sort of voice to text or email or any remote work at all. So we switched in the pandemic to
Right.
8x8 so that we could get all of that, because they couldn't provide anything like that.
Right.
Okay, I'm fine with going back to 8x8 if you think that would be superior to what we just tried, but it would be good to make sure that they can, that they know that if they can't improve their service, we're gonna look.
We'll have an opportunity later in the year because we're not starting a new contract with them. We're just going back to the.
Okay.
Okay. So.
Okay. So would you need a motion?
The motion to transition.
I make a motion to transition back to 8x8 for the phone service, and designate town administrator Nick Zias to negotiate that process.
Is there a second? Motion made by Cynthia and seconded by Glenn to retransition back to 8x8 phone services. Discussion. I will point out one thing. When I was in a conversation with Robin and Ron Hausdorff, who has done a lot of our computer work for years. I also was in several of his classes, technology classes and software classes. And I know him very well, and when I mentioned that we were having problems with the phone system, he said, and he's been in business forever, 30+ years. He said, I don't use Granite. And he didn't say anything negative. He was polite about it, but I could tell by just my intimate knowledge of him that there's a reason. And so I said, we should probably just do this transition back, because they obviously didn't live up to their salesman's, who has since, I guess, left the company.
Yeah, I
So,
certainly am confident in
I
that.
think there were some other things going on there, and they just were not able to fulfill the agreement as they stated it, and I think we should just do it. So anyway,
Are there any fees associated with us going back to?
I intend on making clear to the new company that we do not believe we got the product that,
To Granite.
to Granite, that we got the product that we were sold, and that the fact that they made a gigantic billing error that was to the tune of $80+ per month. And it took me going through every line of their bill to figure out what the deal was, and the customer service rep did not give me a satisfactory answer, made very clear, like, I believe that we can negotiate a satisfactory exit. No.
okay.
So,
So the motion was made by Cynthia and seconded by Glenn. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. You have your marching orders.
I will take care of it.
His phony orders.
Yeah, okay, we have about 4 different entities for liquor licenses and such. And I'll just go through them. This one is Timetables Catering, and that's for the fly fishing thing at the Commons. That's a one-off right there. We just need verbal approvals on all of these.
I make a motion to approve a catering permit to Timetables Catering. Is there a date of the event for the May 2nd, 2024 event?
Second.
Motion made by Cynthia and seconded by Todd to approve the request for catering permit for Timetables Catering, Inc. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, this is 3 different ones. The American Legion Post 69. It was a 3rd-class license and outside consumption permit and a 1st-class club license. We can cover it with just one motion.
I make a motion to approve a 3rd-class club license, an outside consumption permit, and a 1st-class club license, all for American Legion Post 69.
There's a second. Motion made by Cynthia and seconded by Glenn. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. This one is for a tobacco license and a 2nd-class liquor license for Dollar General.
I make a motion to approve a 2nd-class liquor license and a tobacco license for Dollar General, doing business under DG Retail LLC.
There's a motion made by Cynthia and seconded by Todd to approve the tobacco license and the 2nd-class liquor license for DG Retail LLC, Dollar General. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. And last but not least, a 3rd-class hotel license, a 1st-class hotel license, an outside consumption permit for the Arlington West Mountain Inn Incorporated.
Motion to approve an outside consumption permit, a 1st-class hotel license, and a 3rd-class hotel license for Arlington's West Mountain Inn Incorporated.
Second.
Motion made by Cynthia and seconded by Todd. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item under new business is fire truck 710 replacement discussion. I believe, Mike, you've got some quotes for us. Are they in your packets? I think there was 3 different quotes. And, so those were, if I understand it right, those were all new vehicles, is that all brand new?
Pricing out is gas and diesel, just to have comparison. And then after discussing it, although diesel would be nice, the cost of maintaining the, other stuff. The gas would probably be more, less maintenance in the long run.
Okay. Did you take a look at anything in the used arena, good used arena?
No. I did some on, some of the websites that I could find for used command, and you're looking at average between 35 and 40,000. So, I mean, now you're talking a 2016, it's like buying a used vehicle these days, they want just as much for them as they, so for a little bit more, you get something brand new that will last a long time for what we use it for. Because when you buy them, they've already got the light packages on them and all that, where we can take most of the stuff off the vehicle that we previously owned, that it no longer will pass inspection is one reason why, just so people are listening, understand why we come to you so quick. When last meeting we talked that it was scheduled to be, replaced next year. After that meeting, we sent it to get it inspected, and it would not pass inspection. Few items could easily be fixed, the brake lines, the tie rod ends, but the punky frame in the back and the quarter panels and all that, and the floorboard and all that. Now you're gonna send it to a body shop, put money into something that's scheduled to be replaced next year, and that thing tows a trailer with a rhino that's pretty heavy, and I wouldn't want, somebody towing a trailer with a frame that's funky in the back. If it was me towing it every day and I knew it, then, okay, I might say, hey, but when you got all different drivers and everything, that was just a scary part. Just so people that are listening know, I would come back to you so quick on this.
What does punky mean? Do you mean rusted?
Rotten.
Rotten.
Where you can start pushing in on it. Some of the ones Brian sent me, there was, Tahoes, SUVs. But we've all basically talked. And we're more into the four-door crew cab pickup with a truck cap on the back and a full pull-out drawer. And making it what we want. Like we've already talked about, doesn't matter if it's chrome or black bumpers, because we'd like to someday down the road, we have a winch at the firehouse we can put on it. We're thinking winch bumper. I mean, we know what we want and we know we can't have everything right now. I mean, there is a perfect example of what we want for sale. It's made by a company called Alexis, I think it was. But you're talking $150,000 for a built truck to what we want. And we can do it way cheaper on our own.
Do you have prices on all the extras?
Hmm?
Do you have prices on all the extras?
The only thing I've priced is a cat and the decked out pull-out drawer. You can buy them both from down in Arlington for less than $5,000. Painted to match,
5,000 combined or each?
combined.
Okay.
So it's like right now, our big thing right now is get something that can tow the trailer. If the cap is in the drawer 2 months down the road, 3 months down the road, it's not a big deal. Of course, we'd like to do it sooner, but our big thing right now is we don't have anything to tow the trailer. If we have a brush fire, we're kind of in a pickle. And with our side by side. So we did this all within a week. I mean, Mike had talked to Jamie and I called Todd to see how we had to go about this. So we were mostly, like Mike said, we were mostly focused on trying to get a vehicle, one, to transport our people. This was our transport vehicle because we got rid of our crew cab fire truck. And two, to tow the trailer. I mean, it shouldn't be that we'd have to back in there with our own pickups to tow the trailer. What happens if we wreck? Who's gonna cover what? All that. So we're trying to, and we ran some numbers. Eric couldn't make it here tonight. He was gonna have some final numbers, but like I told Todd when I was on the phone, me, Mike and Eric met at the firehouse, just a quick look That excursion went to over 75% of our calls. Went to everything. It has their own signs, it has everything, and it's a personnel carrier. So like I said to Todd on the phone, that's why we're trying to hopefully get something sooner than later to try to, because we downsized by going to a two-person fire truck, because that was our personnel carrier. So now when we go mutual aid someplace, the chief's gotta take their own personal vehicle to transport people over, you know?
Nick, what do we have in our sinking funds for?
Let me grab that number, I have that. right.
That was my next question. What is the impact of this decision on the sinking fund?
Fire truck sinking fund,
Um,
end of the year was $174,000. So, yeah, plus a little bit of interest.
Yeah, but that's not included this year, right?
That does not include this
No.
year's.
And that's 100,000. It's going in at the year end.
So,
Does that, those prices, are those source well prices?
I asked how to do that and all was asked, the only one that's not a fleet dealer was Dodge. Cause that's how, when I talked to Todd, that's how he thought that, and I explained to him, you know, this is municipal buying it and this and that, and those, some of them actually, if you look, it says that, you know, whatever. Cause we didn't know how we'd have to do that, if you had to call somebody special to get the fleet, but we went, or through municipal pricing, but we went to all fleet dealers is how we got you the prices.
I don't think the Bennington one, I got the price from, I don't think there's a fleet dealer, I think the one in, Greenwich is. But he said he'd take good care of us, and he did. And they're the ones that were offering to take, and it could be nothing, it could be just a couple $100, I don't know. They're willing to give us something for trade on the excursion. So,
How come you didn't hit Greenwich?
I did,
Greenwich Ford?
I did. He had nothing on his lot. It'd take 4 to 6 months to order a truck, but they're not a fleet dealer. That was the first Ford I called because that's where I buy all my trucks.
Cause I know White Creek just bought a brush truck through them over there.
They did. But I was trying to find, first off, I was trying to find stuff on a lot. And he says, well, we don't have anything here. It's gonna be 4 to 6 months to build you one. You know, order one and get it in. And then my next question to him was, are you a fleet dealer? And he said, no. That's why I moved to G Stone, who had one on the lot.
Do you all have a preference?
you're all gonna have different preferences. I know there's 2 Ford guys here, there's 3 Dodge guys sitting here. I like GMC too.
I'll speak as a Ram guy, as long as it tows the trailer, I don't care. I mean, they're all gonna be nice new.
They're all really close to.
My only thing was, I didn't think we should get a diesel, which I think we all agreed on in the end. I think the diesel is gonna be a waste of money. But I couldn't care less what brand it is.
So I'm doing just a little bit of math in my head, not rounding. You look at this year's, the sinking fund we got, plus what's going in, that's 274, and I'm saying minus 60. That leaves us 214, and then if we are looking at a 600,000-ish truck, we're looking at probably replacement either 28 or 29 to have enough in the sinking. And that doesn't count any increases in the sinking fund, that's just knowing what we're putting in now. So just as long as you guys are good with that, then.
No, I didn't see it on your agenda, but did you guys tonight, are you gonna talk more about what we proposed last time we were here?
Some of those items are on here, yes, the Knox box on the.
Right.
No, he was talking replace the old
replacement.
truck.
Yeah.
That is not on the
Oh,
agenda.
that is not on the agenda. No.
Yeah, you're gonna come back this meeting with it. Cause that would, again, help our sinking fund back in.
We don't, and I'm very much of the mindset that these two are set, because we don't need the storage space here. We should make the decision of these two things separately, given
Yeah,
that.
no, I just.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what we discussed last.
Yep.
yeah,
But I'm just throwing that out there just for thinking about the sinking fund and when will it be adequate to make our next viable.
yeah, we're going to need to accommodate this at these prices as opposed to at the used prices. We're going to need to increase sinking funds in the future.
Well, that's a given. I'm just saying
Yeah.
that conservatively, if you use the 100,000 as the next
Yeah.
5 years, even though it's likely to increase, it still gives you enough by 2028 or
It's
29.
gonna take you that long anyway.
It's gonna take that long to build it, 5 years.
Back to us with, could we set enough so that we could at least get maybe the cap or the rollout and then come back to you for the additional whatever lights that we need or any of that, so that the stuff in the back is covered, or even if, like Mike said, if we could just get something to tow. I'm just trying to, think of how to protect the stuff that's in the back load up.
Yeah, so basically he's saying, is there extra, above whatever truck you choose, above and beyond the cost of the truck?
Could you give a number? Or
Can you give us a number, because we're gonna have radio installed? We could save the same light bar. The cap and the trailer, ballpark 5,000. Shore power, so when it's plugged in its firehouse, that's gotta be installed. So, so either do that stuff now or just concentrate on the truck now, I guess is the question.
So you're adding 7,500 approximately.
Could be.
Shoreline was like $1,000 on each of those when we put them in the other trucks. Radios are about 500 install.
Which we might be able to take that out of the other one,
I
right?
assume Eric would probably switch the light bar over. But
The whole group is.
So basically, instead of
super glue.
I rounded it to 60, but if you said 70, that would cover most of what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
hopefully come
And the
under that.
equipment line would.
But just so right off the bat, we don't have to come, we can still give you we can shoot you guys the firm prices on the cap, all that, for what Nick, policy is. Or not Nick's, the town, sorry, it goes to Nick, that's why I said Nick, but.
Right.
It would be a few $100 per letter into the rig.
That's my.
What I'd love to see,
$1,000.
I highly encourage the board to at least not make this decision tonight. Give us 2 weeks to do this so we can have an itemized list of all of these things. Because what I don't like is voting on something without a final price. In an ideal world, we're doing an RFP for this, even if it's a very short-term RFP. Mr. Bykowski texted me and wanted to encourage me to make that as a public comment. And I certainly do support that. A short-term RFP would have been the appropriate way to do this, even though our purchasing policy does allow us to just get quotes. And because having an itemized list of all of these things would be really, really helpful, even though I understand the urgency of this truck went down between last meeting and this meeting.
So
And
I guess the question is, we're in brush season, okay? The trailer is our brush thing, so you're pushing this out, so we talked about this.
I understand you're concerned that we're gonna push this out for 2 weeks. However,
No, I'm
I
not.
too am apprehensive about just saying, hey, here's $70,000.
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, we talked about the RFP thing and what are you gonna get? You're gonna get E1. All them guys are gonna bid in on this and you're gonna be looking at $100,000 truck. Well, we could save that step because we've already called all the local dealers. We could save that step. I mean, that's what I'm looking at.
You can invite these guys to put a bid on the RFP.
Or even RFP.
Limit it to that.
RFP the body of the vehicle. And it's just, we want a base pickup truck. And it that has these qualities. And the board could authorize that verbally tonight and say, Nick, write an RFP for qualities as agreed or as discussed with the fire chiefs. And then in that RFP must be compatible with all the other stuff that we want. And
So then they would essentially go back to all the people they've been talking with, give them a thing, and then the guy just lists the costs and
Right,
everything
and
like
well, and
that.
then they don't necessarily even need to list all these secondary costs, it's just.
The
we need to-
basic.
We are RFPing the body of the vehicle.
Yeah.
And then everything else is a minor purchase, under $10,000 according to.
Okay.
So you want a window sticker for each vehicle,
Yes,
so that you can compare them
That's
right
what-
across.
Yeah.
That's what they
Yeah.
were.
Well, I
That's
see
what they
that,
were, was the windows. So I guess,
but it doesn't, like the Ford, I'm looking at that, I don't see a color on it anywhere.
white, they're all white.
Okay, so that's something that can get a
The-
white
Because
vehicle. so-
it's in the stock number, and when you pull, I mean, I could have sent you guys that, but I didn't send it, because I didn't think that it was gonna be, you pull up the stock number, you can have the whole list of the truck, we went basic trucks, that's all we went. But I guess I'm confused, because, and I hate doing this, but, I mean, I sat there, I watched a meeting that we were gonna buy something off an auction that we didn't even go look at, but yet, now we gotta push all this back and back.
And that was a learning experience of why we're tightening all this, because we got a lot of public pushback from that. And what we don't want to have is that exact same
I
thing
just,
happen in another perceived emergency. But ultimately, I agree with the urgency of you guys, here, which is why that if the authorization here is come back in 2 weeks with an RFP by the end of the day tomorrow, I'll be up at 6:30 in the morning tomorrow, cooking on getting this RFP set up. Like, this is not something that's gonna not be on our website by the end of the day tomorrow. That this is the highest priority. This is a public safety sensitive capability that if we need to paper this over, we need to paper this over as efficiently as a person who's here all the time, can do. And this is absolutely something that whatever else is going on is not as important as doing the paperwork to get you guys this vehicle.
So you're gonna write this and do an RFP and you're gonna reach out to all these people?
I'm happy to make the calls tomorrow afternoon. If that's what it's gonna take, if that's what the
special
board
meeting,
wants,
We certainly can.
We can do a special meeting the first of next week, and then
If
that's
you
all.
get, if you get the
Make a
responses
decision.
back, we can just.
I mean, you guys can take your time, if you, let me know if that white pickup truck sitting in front of the town garage has a hitch on it, we'll use that.
I mean, we're just
Listen,
trying.
hang on. Mike,
No, I
don't be
mean,
an ass
I
about
mean, I
this.
mean at night, I don't mean during the day, I mean on nights and weekends, is it available?
It is available nights and weekends, but don't be an ass about it. Like,
I'm
I'm absolutely 100% in favor of doing
I'm
this.
not trying to be an ass, I'm just asking a random.
Okay, that little comment there wasn't you trying to be an ass.
No, it wasn't.
Well, I disagree. But I'm 100% in favor of this, and I 100% support this. What I'm asking for is I would like firm prices on your rollout and whatever else you need. And if you need Nick to do that, then utilize Nick to do that.
No, I mean, if you wanna go, I just don't know, so what do you, I've never done this. That's why I tried to reach out to make sure we're doing this the right way, cause I didn't wanna waste everybody's time, just like I said on the phone. So, when I call back, what do I tell the guy? Or are you gonna call the Ford guy back?
I'm happy to call.
Okay, cause I don't know what to tell him. That's what I'm
No,
looking
I'm
at.
happy to
is
say.
How do I call back and say, well, we got an RFP,
Nick's
I want a
gonna
different price. Well, this is my price. Here it is. Take it or
take,
leave
Nick's
it.
gonna take care of that.
Yeah, I will call all these people, you have to, like. you
But the
have to-
cap, we can do that.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
cap can roll out.
Yeah.
You know what you want
Yep.
for cap, you know what you want for a
You have my
rollout.
email, if you
You guys
get,
get the incidental
and,
quoted.
and everything under that
Yeah,
10,000
no,
mark
that's-
doesn't
I
need to be
just-
in the RFP.
I just didn't know how you call these people back and say, you know, I've never done this. I know we do it on the big trucks, but like I said, that's, you want them guys. These guys are,
It,
Same thing, I had to do the
It's
same
fine,
thing
they're
with the
gonna
school.
understand, it's the
Yeah,
way
no,
municipal
no.
things
Yeah, no,
work.
I
You
just
did the
never done it,
exploratory,
yeah.
right, you did the exploratory
Yeah.
stuff, and now Nick's gonna take over and paper it
that's
out.
right.
And that
That's
guy
all
will
I'm-
understand, he'll
Yeah.
yeah,
understand.
people who deal with municipalities understand that the people like you can't make agreements like this
No.
without your opinion.
But I just didn't know how I call the guy back and say, here's
I'm-
what I'm looking.
I'm happy
That's
to-
the word.
Yeah, I'm happy to say, and if someone's available for me to just run this by at some point tomorrow to make sure that it's what you guys discussed and that I'm not missing anything in this document, or if someone's available tomorrow evening or whatever, I'm happy to meet whoever, wherever, whenever, to get this piece of paperwork done, reviewed by one of you guys to know exactly what you're doing. And I'm happy to drive to you or wherever you need to be, because ultimately,
It was just a base,
yeah,
Base
big,
truck.
yeah, big
and
standard.
hopefully vinyl floors, I guess. Dodge doesn't do vinyl anymore, right? They're carbon. But we're shooting for vinyl floors because of what we go into. I mean, everything comes electric, window backup cameras, so the backup camera's handy for hooking on the trailer. But other than that,
Standard in
it's
all modern
just
vehicles.
How about,
basic.
how about service and warranty work? Which would you prefer to like deal with?
Well, so I guess Dodge has a good thing that they cover it. Like it's what, how many years?
I got a lifetime on the changes on my truck.
So, I mean, whatever, you know, we have a guy that
We
comes
have
down.
a guy that does our oil changes, right, and all our maintenance. You're gonna have a warranty period, of course. But we have a guy that comes to our firehouse and does our oil changes, right, and putting the right in station. I just actually sent.
So it's something that I can get as part of the response that is, okay, we don't actually need to include a specific warranty feature because that'll probably knock one or more of the
Well,
manufacturers
you'll
off.
see there's some, and I don't know about all, but I think some of them, once you start using them for like fire department using, like the old the brush truck we have now, they said if we put a brush guard on that, the warranty would be out the window. So there's things that we might do to that truck that they might say your
Yeah,
warranty's gone.
And maybe we put in a list of any, or information on what invalidates the warranty. We put that in the response, and they have to at least give us
I mean,
some information on what's in and out.
another
Or
key note,
information on the warranty.
another key note was we were looking for 6.5 foot beds because we didn't want to be driving tractor trailer trucks around with the trailer behind you.
6.5 foot bed.
Or close to that. I think
Let
it's
them
6.5.
get you a list tomorrow,
Yeah,
Nick,
we'll
and then,
do that, yeah, so you don't tie up.
Perfect.
and we can do a special meeting the first of next week, once we have all
I
these
just
back.
didn't know how this worked.
Yeah.
That's-
No, it's,
No, I'm glad you went out and got these prices, because
Yeah.
quite honestly, they're lower than I anticipated.
And you know, if like a week or so ago, you thought this truck was good until next year, and now we find out it's not, and by next week or so, we're gonna be getting new truck. That's really fast.
So
So,
all I was looking at is, you know, right now we're in a, but we'll accommodate something, but I guess, quick question, well, yeah. So if a member hooks onto that, how does all that play out? Cause I know we've been around this with using our own four-wheelers and all that. Cause we have to come up with something to tow, because if a brush fire goes, that's one of our main pieces of equipment, that trailer. So we have to come up with something. You know what I mean? And so.
Well, how many guys,
So
how
we
many
were-
guys took you up on the insurance through the town? On their vehicle?
I think mine's one of them. You're one of them. No, I'm not sure anyone else has gotten me their licenses and or other information.
My license is here.
Yeah, no, I have yours, but you didn't ask me to register yet. So anyone else who wants to be,
I will.
follow up.
Yeah, I will.
Well, I'll go back to what I said before, and I guess probably I said it wrong. Will that truck be available nights and weekends if we needed it?
We can have Janet look into this tomorrow.
which truck are we talking?
The white
So-
truck, the highway
Town
truck,
The highway truck.
the white pickup.
The utility.
Oh, the little one that
Yes,
Willie
the
drives
white-
when he
yes.
plows, okay.
We could probably get an extra key cut for the department if we can make sure that it's registered with our insurance appropriate. But Janet can look into that tomorrow.
And that'd just be a stopgap until we get this new one.
Tomorrow's red flag warnings already.
Yep.
2 days without
We are-
rain.
I mean, I know it's not that.
So I can't get a bus and burn for it.
You will not get a burn permit tomorrow, Tom.
I can't go in there.
No.
We'll be starting the email.
Okay, I think we got that covered for now.
Yeah,
Anything else you guys got on that? Anything?
On that particular thing, no,
Yeah.
I mean, I was gonna question the selling of rescue pumper 741.
Yeah.
You guys did say to table it for a week. but
Yeah, let's put it on the next.
It's not on the agenda yet.
Yeah, put it on the next agenda.
Item 4.4 is the Knox purchase decision.
Okay.
That's in your packet as well.
Yes. Let's just put it right.
Yeah, it's just.
I heard names.
But yeah, that was in your packet and I'll grab the,
Can you put that up?
yeah, I'm putting it up on the screen right now. Okay. This is what it take.
So 5 secure keys, 5 mounting brackets,
And
and
then a year of
1 year
the,
of the cloud services. Total of, including tax and shipping, 67,39.68.
I would do this as not to exceed, so I can confirm that we should be able to, that's not some other tax that we're not exempt from, but we should be exempt from that.
Right,
But yeah. And
so not to exceed the bottom line number.
or it is within your policy, you can just authorize me to approve this, but it's probably just easier.
Yeah, because it probably is tax exempt, but I'm not sure. of that.
Yeah, yeah, there's all kinds of wonky things in these spaces, so,
Mhm.
um,
So I will entertain a motion to approve. That's the only one, correct?
yes, that's,
The
they're
Knox
a
is
monopoly
Knox.
vendor.
Knox is Knox is Knox.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the purchase of the Knox box and associated equipment for a total not to exceed $6,739.68.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made by Cynthia and seconded by Todd to approve not to exceed $6,739.68 for the Knox components. All those in favor signify by saying
Aye.
done. Okay,
We'll get those orders, there'll be some paperwork, the fire department will see those, and then we'll get the rest of the key transition done. Excellent.
all right. Anything else you guys have? All set, okay. The next item, 4.5, is finance administrator / treasurer hiring announcement.
And if you want to make that, I can also
We
do
decided to hire Christian, I'm sorry, Christian, I don't know.
Dickinson.
Dickens.
Pownell.
From Pownell, and we authorized Nick to negotiate a package with her, and she has formally accepted it. So,
at a rate of $40 per hour, with various fringe benefits, including vacation and sick time that, and then her first day will be May 6th. And, for the agreement, at the special meeting, the outgoing treasurer will cover the office until that point and do some training with her. So we're very excited for her to join the staff, and yeah, we look forward to welcoming her in about 2 weeks. In exactly 2 weeks.
okay. Anything else on that we have to cover?
I don't have anything.
Good. All right. Do you want to do the warrants and orders?
Yeah, let's do the warrant.
And you're just to hit the highlights of your town administrator report.
Yeah, so town administrator report, we had a special water meeting. I spent a bunch of time on the water department last period. The highway department was dominated by a bunch of highway time off. I did various work on, I read a bunch of grant paperwork, and there's a lot of grants ongoing. We have, including getting an update on the Benedict Crossing Bridge, so I can report that, that I talked to MSK Engineering, and they have all of their components in, except for the most important component, which is the structural engineering piece, on which a couple other components do rely. So they're happy to talk to any member individually if you need further details on that, but they certainly understand that we're frustrated with the slow going of that process, and they're frustrated with their subcontractor who might have bit off a bit more than they can chew, and they'll take that into consideration. So we have a quick update on Benedict Crossing, and then any other questions that came out of the report.
Okay,
There's an invoice to MSK for $567.50 on this warrant.
It's
Why should I
That's-
vote to approve that?
because
This
they
was
have made progress
approved
with
at our
all of
last
the other
meeting.
subcontractors, and I totally understand that where you would want to do that, and if you would like to exclude that.
Oh
from
no,
the
Dan
warrant,
just points me out that I approved
This
it at the
is-
last meeting.
yeah, that was
this
that
is,
was
there was a
Can I take my
typo.
vote back? I want to take my vote back.
We
Okay.
have to redo it anyways.
All right, so, I just am incredulous.
This,
I mean, I'm gonna dive into the back hill and look at the abutments myself. You guys do this.
Andrew did tell me to offer to you if you'd like to speak to him yourself.
What,
He's
what's
happy to take
the
time to do
point?
so.
What's the point? There's no point.
Oh, yeah, I hear that. But he did offer.
All right, this part of it is yours and this part of it is mine,
Yeah.
okay?
this item is highlighted. As I understand it, is there was a typo in last week's order.
Okay,
There was a typo that, was 5 cents low for the state troopers. Public safety. Is that correct?
That's, yeah,
Yes,
correct.
yeah, that's 5 cents and they wouldn't accept it and they wouldn't let us pay it another time, so we have to make a whole new check.
Welcome to the state's accounting department.
Yes, so we have to redo this whole thing for a nickel.
Yes.
And it's just reauthorizing last week's corrected, or last meeting's corrected.
okay, so is this now corrected or am I authorizing a nickel?
The 492.88 should be the correction, correct?
Yes, yeah, that is the correct one now.
Okay, so we're cutting them a new check, including the 5 cents. So
Including
that's
5
all
cents.
we're authorizing.
That's
The only check we're cutting,
is that the entire, would you have to reauthorize the entire warrant or just that check?
because this is my opportunity to vote against the MSK.
After they've already passed it, yes.
It doesn't matter.
They already have the check. MSK has their check already.
Should only be that one.
It should just be the high.
Okay,
level.
you can stop payment on checks,
Sure, yeah. In any case, yeah, if the warrant.
Only a banker would say
The
that.
actual authorization is just the reflected amount for the public safety line.
So everything else is all set, just that one item.
Okay, I make a motion to authorize payment of the invoice to the Department of Public Safety, a total of $492.88. Couldn't we have just sent a nickel by Todd? I mean, geez.
They wouldn't have
It's about
allowed
the cash
I have
handling.
nothing to do with the count.
What was the total on that? 492?
$492.88.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion to adjust the payment to the state, for a total of $492.88. Motion made by Cynthia and seconded by Jamie. All those in favor signify by saying
Aye.
aye. Aye.
Abstain. For obvious reasons.
Yes.
Okay, just to go back to MSK. Aren't all the signs that they're gonna tell us that the abutments are not usable?
No, they could find that that they are usable, but we don't know until the structural engineer comes back. It could be, that it could just be gut feel, it could be, but structural engineer is the person who speaks on that, and I am not going to speak on structural engineering. That is something I am not qualified to do, but I certainly think that there are questions on either side of this. We can certainly hope that they come back with a positive prognosis, but.
Not if it isn't any good. I don't wanna build on it if it isn't any good.
Oh, yeah.
But the longer this goes on, the more difficult it is.
Absolutely.
And we were told earlier that they were buildable. That's what just
We
drives me
certainly
nuts
hope,
about this.
but yeah, that's why these processes can take a while.
Okay, I make a motion to approve the invoices for the water department operating expenses. Motion to approve check warrant report WD number 8 dated 4/19/24. All obvious usual expenses for a total of $2,499.34. Motion to approve.
2,400.
$2,499.34.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made by Cynthia and seconded by Jamie to approve check warrant report WD 8. Total amount of $2,499.34. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Okay. I make a motion to approve the payment of invoices for the operating expenses for the town of Arlington, check warrant report number 8 dated 4/19/24. Key elements are payments for salt, for pagers, for heating oil, for gravel. All sounds like winter, for our supplies for the highway department. Motion to approve total of $26,508.47. Nothing for MSK on this invoice.
Sounds good to me. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion made by Cynthia and seconded by Jamie. Approve check warrant report number 8. In the total amount of $26,508.47. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
There's no other file under there, is there? That's it.
There was just the only other one was that.
Yeah, I know, I just did, I wanted to make sure I hadn't,
Yep.
combined it.
No, that's good checking. All right, we
Executive session, all three.
We need to.
Personnel, property,
Make a
and legal.
motion to establish the reasons for the executive session as legal, property, and personnel matter.
I make a motion that premature discussion of legal, property, and personnel issues would cause the municipality to suffer substantial disadvantage.
Motion made by Cynthia and seconded by Glenn to establish the reasons for the executive session as a legal, a personnel matter, and a
Property matter.
property matter. All those in favor signify by saying
Aye.
aye. Aye.
I make a further motion to actually enter into executive session for discussion of said personnel, property, and legal issues, and to now allow Town Administrator Nick Sias to remain in the room.
Motion made by Cynthia and seconded by Glenn to enter into executive session for said legal, property, and personnel issue, and allow town administrators asked to remain in the room. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Recording stopped.